So, how exactly would you feel as a parent, a mom, you are at work and you received a call from your child's school asking you to come change your daughter or your son's nappy that your boy or your child got soiled? How exactly are you going to feel at the middle of work? You've been booked in for a job. Oh my God. So you begin to say to your employer, sorry, I have to rush now. What if you are a support worker in somebody's home and you are just alone with your client? Are you still going to take that permission to say you are rushing to your child's school to go change the nappy? That's really strange and the most unusual thing I've ever had in my entire life. But this, they said it actually happened in Wales. And why did it happen? Anyway, before I go on, my name is Chinyere Ojike. Like, subscribe, and keep coming back for more. Yeah. So in January, just this January 2025, a place they called Went Council in Wales announced that parents must change their child's nappy or pull up at school if their child is not toilet trained. If their child is not potty trained, the policy was introduced due to the high number of children attending school in nappies. They are now concerned that a large number of children now attend school wearing pampers, diapers, nappies to school. So the teachers, I think all they've started doing would be to constantly change nappies. That wouldn't sit well with any teacher, especially if a child is in the school age. This is the reason they said a child should stay home until they reach certain age. From 4 years goes to reception, from 5 years they start year one. At this age, 4 years old or 5 years old, a child must have, attained certain milestones of doing something on their own, knowing when they are pressed to pee or when they want to do number two, so that a teacher wouldn't come to school, proper school, to keep changing nappies. So in order to boost their points, their law that they passed, they said the policy only applies to children who are not potty trained, but there is exemption in case a child has a medical reason as to why the child cannot say when they are pressed to do number two or number one. I've been in a class, sadly, year two in particular, a child, a girl, the teacher told me that she has a medical reason and blah, blah, blah. We should go watch out. You just stand by the door, because you're not even allowed to go in the toilets with a child in this country, a child of school age. Teachers has no business changing pam pam for any child in year one. It doesn't happen. Reception, they don't do that, So because that girl had a medical reason, every now and then, the mom added some extras. So something like this, it's only a situation whereby a child will be exempted. We don't pray for our child to have medical reasons as to pulling and then doing number one or number two constantly, because it's really disturbing to a parent and to even that child in particular. So most parents, maybe they pass something like a questionnaire, they complained that it is actually unfair for a parent to be called into a school to come change nappy. It's quite unfair, to be honest, but at least parents, they've got to do the needful by training their children at home on how to use the toilet. And there is also a charity that kicked against it, that it is unwise, not good, unhealthy for a child to stay soiled. As in, you as a teacher, you know that a child has done number two, you just keep the child. You call the parents, you don't know how long it's going to take the parents, even if it's going to take the parents 1 hour, okay, to like get a permission from work to come to that school. That child would sit on that. Oh my goodness. And the law also said it is important a child gets changed immediately they do number two. But this applies to the children in the nursery school, not the ones within the school age. But Man, I wouldn't be happy beating my child who has done number two for almost an hour or 2 hours ago, still on it. And how about other children? Will you isolate that child? Yes, because that's the only way. Having worked in a nursery, once one child does it, it is easy to dictate. You know, the odor, the bad aroma will just ooze out. Vroom. You'll be like, somebody must have done it. Who is it? You begin to check. And then you find out the person and the teacher takes care of the child. So in a situation like this, whereby they have to call the parents, where would they put the child? Send the child out of class or out of the play area, among others. That would be like a punishment to an innocent child. So to help with this, at what age do you think a child should be potty trained? Anyway, from what I saw, they said from 18 months to 3 years. Yes, but then each child develops at their own pace. This is really obvious because not every child develops at the same pace. Because sometimes you see a child who started walking before they turn one. You can see some children, even at one, they've not started. At 1 year, 5 months, they are not walking yet. So developmental pace, takes certain stages in different kids. Yes, but then they said you should watch out for some cognitive sign of readiness in your child to know when your child is ready to be potty trained, such as a child should be able to like sit up when they want to like do number two or number one, and a child sometimes should be able to pull their pants up and down. Children, they do that a lot. Even these ones that are age 5, 6 and above, sometimes they don't even do that. They begin to dance. You see somebody and when the child finally goes in that toilet, you hear him as if the child is going to fill up the WC. You'll be like, so you have that urine in your bladder all along, and you've been there pressing your iPad, especially this age of iPad and tablets. It's really crazy. So a child should be able to be like pulling their pants up and down for you to know that the child wants to do either number two or number one. And the child should also communicate, depending if the child is talking. Sometimes they say something like PP, that blah, blah, blah. They point. You should be able to check out for such signs for you to know that, yeah, it's time for you to start potty training this child. And another sign to look out for is when you communicate to your child about it, does your child really understand what that means? To poo poo, many parents, they have their terms they use for all these things. Does your child understand that term you use? Another factor is physical readiness. Is your child able to have a muscle control to hold their bladder, to wait? When the child is pressed, you say, okay, wait, let's rush to the toilet. Can your child do that? That is a sign of physical readiness. If your child is able to listen to your instruction, just hold on, I'll get the potty thing. Oh, let's get to the toilet. If your child can wait, that means your child is physically ready, to start potty training. Now, emotional readiness is another thing you should look out for before you start potty training your child. Yes, is that child able to imitate others? Is that child interested to go sit on that potty you provided for the child? When he or she watches others going into the toilet, does he or she wants to try to sit on there? This is emotional readiness. You should look out for this, and then you can start training your child. Even if the child is less than 18 months, because they say from 18 months until 3 years, that is when potty training kickstarts. So, but they said it can be later, it can be before 3 years old. So another thing they suggested is that you can apply the 10 minutes rule, that as soon as your child is awake, you can walk your child straight to the toilet to pee or to poop. That this would also help walking around for 10 minutes. That's the 10 minutes rule. Walk your child straight to the toilet. And this happens even with an adult. Once we wake up in the morning, what do? We walk straight into the toilet to, empty our thingy, especially we. Not everybody poos once they wake up in the morning. Somebody like me, I don't do that, please. But at least once I wake up in the morning, I go straight to wee. So this is also applicable to kids. As they are waking up, if you don't walk them straight to the toilet, some of them might do it on the bed. But when you constantly do this, they know, as in it's being registered in their head that, okay, Each time I wake up in the morning, I should go in the toilet. There's something there that I need to use, not doing it on my bed. That's what practicing does to even an adult, not only to a child. Anyway, I think it is really sad having invited a parent over to a school to come change their child's nappy. But I think it's a lesson to other parents as well so that they can do the needful at home by potty training their child who has come of age, especially school age, because this particular council or school, they further claim that teachers now use their lesson time to changing diapers or nappies instead of teaching the children. They spend more hours on changing nappies. So that was the major reason they passed this law. Yes, in order to, you know, help other parents try help their children as well to learn how to walk to the toilet when they are pressed to do their thing in the right places, not doing it on their nappies. Anyway, thank you once again for staying tuned for this upload. Like my video, share my video, subscribe to my channel, and keep coming back for more. Bye.